Happy Ayurveda Day. Today is a very special day for Ayurveda lovers, fans, supporters, doctors, healers, physicians, practitioners, students. Just a special celebration of Ayurveda. Today is connected with Lord Dhanvantari, who is known as the god of Ayurveda. And I have been worshipping Lord Dhanvantari ever since I was a child. I don't have a memory of which day I started, probably because Dhanvantari has played a huge role in my family because my own guru, Baba Yodhyanath, was a big ambassador, fan, teacher, and healer because he believed that any healing that we do as Ayurveda healers is not possible without the blessings of Lord Dhanvantari. That is why, from the very childhood, I learned to chant this very special mantra for Lord Dhanvantari, which goes like this: Om Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevam Sura Surair Vantita Pada Padmam Loke Jirarug Bhaya Mrityunasham Datar Misham Vivida Oshadhinam. We are saying to Lord Dhanvantari, O Lord Dhanvantari, you are very special indeed. I offer you my salutations. Namami. You are the Adi Devam. You are a very special first among gods for me. And you are worshipped both by the Devas, both the people who are noble and wise and compassionate and dharmic, and you also, when the not so noble people, the asuras, who are selfish and self absorbed, when they become sick, you even are kind to them and you help them recover from any disease. We are all at your feet because you have given us this whole wide world full of herbs, full of oshadi, full of so many medicines. The metals are medicine, the herbs are medicine, the bark is medicine, the air is medicine, the oxygen is medicine, the sunlight is medicine. There's so many medicines, and you have shown us, thanks to the science of Ayurveda, how to use these medicines judiciously, wisely, so that they only create health, no side effects. They only make us happier, healthier, wiser, and more in connection with our own divine light. So, this Lord Dhanvantari that we pray to has a very special place in Ayurveda legend, Ayurveda mythology. In fact, it is said that a long time ago, when Lord Dhanvantari first appeared in this material universe, he brought with him the science of Ayurveda. That is why a few years ago, the government of India declared Ayurveda Day to be on the same day as the day of Lord Dhanvantari's emergence, known as Dhanvantari Jayanti. Today, for those of you who are not so familiar with Lord Dhanvantari, but you still love Ayurveda, you've benefited from Ayurveda, and you would like to bring Lord Dhanvantari closer in your life, then let me share with you a special story. You can think of it as mythology, but really, I think it's happening right now in our own consciousness, and I'll talk to you about it because Baba had told me that anything that begins with once upon a time really means it's happening now, and the time is now. And so, once upon a time, the noble minded dharmic people known as the Devas and the not so noble non dharmic people known as the Asuras were going to churn the ocean of milk known as Kshira Sagar. They had to churn the ocean because really it was an initiative of the Devas or the light beings, because they wanted to get from the womb of that ocean a part of ambrosia. They knew, they had been told by God Vishnu that nectar is in there, buried deep in the ocean. And if you were to consume that, you will become immortal, healthy, wise, and just godlike. And so the good people who deserve all these blessings wanted to get that, except they knew they couldn't do it by themselves because you can't just churn an ocean. They needed to make a liaison with the other half of humanity, which was steeped with selfishness. And the selfish asuras said, oh, wow, we can get the nectar. We'd love to do that. And so for once, they decided to collaborate with the devas. So the devas, the beautiful noble beings, and the asuras, the still unconscious people, decided to churn the ocean. And on Vishnu's recommendation, Lord Vishnu's recommendations, Mount Mandara, a mountain, was used as a churning rod, churning stick. And the churning rope was the king of snakes, Vasuki. The one part, the devas were holding on to the tail, and the asuras were holding on to his monstrous, gigantic, colossal head. And can you just imagine a whole ocean being churned, a whole mountain being used as a churning rod, and a huge, infinite sized, snake, a cobra, was being used as a churning rope, and the churning began. And when the churning was happening, when you churn anything, well, when the churning happened, what came up was halahal, such dark poison, fumes, really ugly stuff that had been kind of lying there in the ocean, probably by people who are not ecologically conscious, and they create one-use plastic and throw things in the ocean. So all that ancient plastic came up, I guess, which had become halahal, and it was going to take over the whole universe. People were going to choke and die because of that. And so the good people, the asuras, the evil people, they were like, they didn't care. They didn't care that the world was going to be consumed by plastic. They just wanted to go for their nectar, so they kept churning. But the Deva said, stop, we need to stop the operation. We can't have plastic going everywhere, this ugly halahal. So they ran to Shiva this time, the colleague, the cohort of Vishnu, and said, please help, because Shiva has been known to have a very kind heart. And Shiva said, well, I'll come. And only a god like consciousness can do that. He consumed all of that halahal. But he didn't swallow it, because you don't want to swallow poison, nor did he vomit it out on somebody else, like throw away your plastic in a third world country. Oh no, he just kept it in his throat, and his throat became blue. And that's why he's known as Nilakanta, the blue-throated one. And then it proceeded again. And because of the heavy churning, it felt like the mountain was collapsing, sinking into the ocean bed. And then Vishnu came running, and he became a huge, gigantic, as big as a planet, tortoise with a hard shell, his Kurma avatar. And then when the mountain was on top of this huge, godly, divine, colossal tortoise, now the mountain had like some solid ground, and then the churning proceeded. Now, after the poison was done, the good things, the gifts started coming up. And 14 such gifts came up, like gems and rubies, and among other things, the Parijata tree whose blossoms never, fade, a horse that ran very fast and had several heads, amazing, powerful horse, the goddess of wine, Varuni, a cow that could fulfill your infinite need for milk and ghee. And all these different gifts were sorted out between the asuras and the devas based on their propensities, based on their likes and dislikes. So you can imagine, like, the vine goddess went to the asuras, and the ghee and milk cow went to the devas. And so all this was going on, and finally emerged Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the daughter of the ocean, and she later became known as the goddess of wealth and abundance that everybody loves and wants to have in their life. And when she came up, like a trillion flowers blossomed on the surface of the ocean with her, and with that a trillion bees came up and emerged this beauty that nobody had seen. It was like you could swoon looking at her beauty. She was so beautiful, and she was holding a garland, and everybody knew, oh my God, she belongs to Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu had orchestrated this whole thing. She was the ultimate beauty, and grace and divinity. And then she puts a garland right there, and there's a marriage that happens in that, special landscape of the ocean and the churning. And from that day onwards, she became our mother, our divine mother, because she is the consort of Lord Vishnu, the divine father. And finally, Lord Vishnu's avatar came up, which is Lord Dhanvantari. Lord Dhanvantari, as you can see, is holding, a pot, and in this pot, it carries nectar, amrita, and this nectar is co-equal to Ayurveda. It is co-equal or equal to Ayurveda, because among all the sciences, the 108 Vidyas and sciences coming from the Vedas, and all the medicines known in the world today, only this one medicine which teaches you not about disease but about health. It teaches you how to not remain mortal but become immortal. It doesn't want to just talk about physical health, mental health. It wants to talk about your spiritual health, self realization, and self actualization. It teaches you how to be disease free, pain free, suffering free. It teaches you through food, through garden herbs, through beauty, through lovely delicious recipes, through lifestyle, just so many positive things it teaches you. And with each encounter with Ayurveda, you feel a little more powerful, a little more hopeful, a little more immortal. Truly, Ayurveda is the nectar among medicines. That is why Ayurveda and Lord Dhanvantari's emergence is connected. This day in the Indian subcontinent is known as Dhanvantari Jayanti, the day we celebrate Dhanvantari. And this day, therefore, was declared by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, as the Ayurveda Day, because India recognizes that Ayurveda does not only now belong to the Indians. Ayurveda has spread worldwide, and it lives in the heart of every noble minded, dharmic, deva or light being that is all over the world. All of you who are enjoying organic food, you enjoy a healthy lifestyle, you believe in ecological consciousness and ecological environmental balance, you believe in looking at the impact of your thoughts, your speech, and your actions on other people, you cultivate values of ahimsa and shanti, peace, then you are somebody who is getting ready to benefit from the nectar of Ayurveda. Ayurveda, from that day when it was contained in the pot of Lord Dhanvantari, has spread through India, Southeast Asia, Europe, South America, North America, you name it. Every country, every continent, in Africa, in China, in Japan, in Korea, in Singapore, in Dubai. I have students and I know of lovers of Ayurveda placed everywhere. To each one of you, whether I have named your country or not, you are in my consciousness. I bless you. A happy Ayurveda Day and a happy Dhanvantari Day. Om Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevam Sura Surair Vantita Pada Padmam Loke Jararuk Bhayamityunasham Datar Visham Vividaushadinam. You alone, through your blessings, through which becomes medicine for us, free us from the fear of Jara and Vyadhi, of aging, of death, and of disease. To you, O Lord Dhanvantari, we pray and we thank you for giving us the gift of Ayurveda. Jai Dhanvantari, Jai Ayurveda.